It was on a night in 2000 when my world came crashing down. I was in a state of depression. The world that I had painstakingly built on my own over the past 3 years was wiped out by my own folly. My world was the life I built around my business. I was providing DJ services for various clubs and pubs, and I always took pride in my business. As a secondary school dropout and an ex-convict, I considered achievement that I created a new world, a new life, from being a nobody in the past to somebody now. These very hands that built the business had also destroyed it overnight. Under the influence of drugs, I was unable to concentrate on my work, and this resulted in a loss of a major client. Who could I blame? No one but myself. I thought I could handle my life well on my own, but that night I was faced with the harsh truth. As I looked at myself, I could no longer recognize the person I had become. I saw neither hope nor future. The road ahead of me looked bleak. I thought of ending my life then, as there was nothing to look forward to. But right at that moment, for some reason, I recalled my first personal encounter with God. I was in prison then, and I experienced a miracle. I received Jesus after reading the Bible about His love for people. His words had touched me and led me to repent of my wrongs, as I was ashamed for the pain that I brought to my parents then. I was sentenced with 30 months and 5 strokes of the cane, and I was seeking to appeal against it, as it was too heavy for a writing case. I prayed to God, asking for a confirmation whether or not to go ahead, as I was fearful that the appeal would land me with a more serious sentence. One day, God spoke to me through His word. My faith was increased, and I took it as a confirmation from God, and I went ahead with the appeal. The outcome, a reduced sentence to 9 months, and with the 5 strokes of cane thrown out. On that victorious moment, I remembered telling God that I would be a good boy and attend a church when I was released. As I look back, I realized how far I had left Him behind since my release from prison. I lived as I pleased, and I did as I wanted. I was overwhelmed with remorse and guilt as it dawned upon me that I had utterly disappointed God by taking His grace for granted. Subsequently, I did the next best thing, which I will not forget and regret for my entire life. I sought His forgiveness and surrendered my life to Him. I told Him how sorry I was in how I had ran my life into a mess. I pledged my life to Him, and from that moment on, I told Him I would follow Him fully. Since that night of surrendering my life, His grace has been changing me inside out.
Hi church, I'm Andrew. The video you just saw was my salvation experience. Fast forwarding to where I am today, my 11-year journey of faith with God has been nothing short of incredible. God has transformed my life inside out. I used to be addicted to smoking, drinking, and even party drugs. But when I got saved, by the grace of God, I no longer desire to go back to all those addictions. God has become my addiction. I was also healed emotionally, and my self-esteem restored. And from a secondary school dropout who did not complete his O-levels, I picked up from where I left off then, and eventually graduated with a bachelor's degree in communications management. The last 3 to 4 years in particular was the most defining period for me. That was when God led me to this church, City Harvest. Before I came to CHC, I heard a lot about the church, positive as well as not so positive comments. So needless to say, I was wary, skeptical, and had my doubts about joining this church. However, all that changed. I was seeking God desperately with a belief that there had to be more in my Christian walk than just going to church and doing church. There was so much about God that I needed to live out in my world, but I wasn't able to or didn't know how. One day, I stumbled upon CHC's website, and I started watching their online sermons. I devoured every word that was taught. It brought clarity to my situation and pointed me to the direction I believe God wanted me to go. Someone once said, when your mind is open, the teacher appears. That teacher who appeared before my life was Pastor Kong. After watching and observing with an open mind and heart, I saw what I didn't see before when I was a skeptic. I saw beyond the color and style a deep, passionate love for God and people. The message on the cultural mandate, especially, has given me a new lease of faith and spiritual fervor to be the church in the marketplace, and not merely doing church that is confined within the four walls. Since joining CHC 3 years ago, by the grace of God, these were the incredible milestones that I experienced in my life. Number one, I was single when I joined, but now I'm happily married. And I want to take this opportunity to thank my leaders and cell group members of W236 and 533 for their unreserved commitment and unconditional love to us. Number two, I was looking to use my gift of writing to serve God in a church, and there was City News. If you're interested to join, please visit www.citynews.sg. Joining a ministry has not only allowed me to be a blessing, but I was richly blessed as I served. I got to know the church better and made many new friends in the ministry. And early this year, I was recognized by the editorial team for my contributions and received the Outstanding Writer Award that came with an all-paid expense to Sydney to attend the Presence Conference. Number three, when I joined CHC, my younger brother, who was unchurched, gradually started attending CHC as well. Now he and his wife are rooted here, and their children are attending our children's church. I believe they are seated somewhere here. Yeah. I've also witnessed my friends who were ex-offenders integrating and finding acceptance in this church family. I'm grateful that not only have they found Jesus, but they have also found their future wives here as well. Finally, I was working as an executive when I joined, but since then I have moved up in my career, and I'm now working as a general manager. And by His grace, I had experienced promotion after promotion in my career, and my job offers came from recommendations from people that I had worked with and who knew me. I believe this attests to God's favor in my life as I strive to be His best in the marketplace. This latest and current job that I have is a dream come true, because for a long time it has been my vision to live and work in Vietnam, and this job requires me to be based or relocated in Ho Chi Minh City to head a Singapore-based advertising agency. So today I'm able to see through the creative, colorful, loud, sophisticated themes and style that is commonly associated with CHC. Beneath all that is actually a simple and genuine love that strives to reach out to those who have not experienced God in a way that truly glorifies Him. So I have also embraced that as my life mission. CHC is an important part of my life, and God has used His church to greatly expand my sphere of influence. Not only has CHC provided me with solid spiritual food, but also practical love and support that has enabled me to apply the word, which allowed God to bear much fruit for His glory. In closing, I would like to thank our church leadership, especially Pastor Kong and Son, for being great exemplary spiritual leaders. Your lifestyle of servanthood never fails to challenge me to love God and people more than ever before. Thank you both for your faith and obedience to God's call upon your life that has resulted in this wonderful church family. A place where dreams are realized and success celebrated. All glory to God.
Oh, come on, give Andrew a big, big hand.